Hello and welcome again at Stocks Advisor channel. Today we will look at a very interesting case of Intel Corporation traded at Nasdaq, ticker name intc. To understand what's happening with Intel and what happened with it as well, we need to look first of all at the 1 yearly chart. That's why you see these very small daily candles in 1 year, and then we will go to standard half-year view that we use at our channel to understand how to play and where to enter. So first of all, what was actually happening with Intel? We need to understand that there were two big drops from the levels that they were pre-COVID period and actually previous year period. So it was in the vicinity of 66, let's say, and with the channel of 66 somewhere trading here, higher, lower a little bit. But then what happened? There were two major drops for Intel for this year. First one, of course, was very well known due to COVID drop. Nothing interesting here because it happened with all companies, and then the companies that were not related or impacted by COVID restrictions, they recovered to the previous numbers, the pre-COVID numbers. That was exactly the same for Intel. And for companies that even benefit from lockdown, like companies working in internet areas, providing some telecommunication, chats, they grow, they did grow even faster. It's a famous example is Zoom, for example. Yeah. But then what happened with Intel was another story. Here in June, it started dropping one and then really significant drop two, which was crazy drop for such a huge giant company also with a great history. And that reason was really the news and fundamentals. So here, the situation that caused this, it was actually the fact that due to some, let's say, overlooking production capacities, Intel was not able to let's say, fulfill its plan for 2021 or even 2020 production, let's say, desires and obligations. Therefore, the price really dropped. And then what happened, of course, the contract started running to another competitors, and still, of course, this is huge company. They started to take measures and actions to overcome this problem. And then we had this classical decline of free moving averages as well, following the price decline and going RSI really oversold. And by the way, speaking of moving averages, as always, we have these free moving averages depicted at our channel, moving average 20, 50, and 200, being green, blue, and red line correspondingly. Here on the left, you see a depiction. So what happened next for Intel? After having this clear downwards bouncing from in September from moving average 50, okay, this was all technical trade. Then companies started to recover because also during this period, this was actually a management reaction time when they started to work around that news. And of course, then the price was going up. But then again, similar news came actually, and it was another sudden drop. So this was actually really unfortunate, really based on the company's work and expectations stuff, which dropped again and again. This was, let's say, management reaction time, and then price started to increase. And then what happened was actually inflection point here, when the major issues was solved and some overreaction took place. But now we are suddenly from the mid of December recovering. And now we're even recovering with the jump. So with some nice flagging and grow, now we are almost back to normal, to this circle, to this rectangle, which is normal price, or let's say before COVID, and also before the news that lacking production could lead to inability of Intel to provide customers with the products. Of course, this is now good news in general for the company, because now we know that the problems were worked out, and the market believes, and actually stakeholders and traders believe that company is returning to its previous activities in the full speed, so the price is recovering. But now we also do not need to forget that next to news and fundamental stuff, there is also technicality, so technical trades, and this could create waves. And this means that we are already technically really overbought in the price, still could jump higher, but we need to also trade out these good, let's say, achievements, and some volatility could be taking place. Because if you look historically to these levels, there are, of course, strong trends here, like at about 58, There is a very strong trend here also in the vicinity of 61, and there are also strong, let's say, downward trends that we're seeing here, and T1, and then it was broken upwards, so we're growing. And now, of course, we need to talk about how to trade here. And to understand this, just when you see the situation, what was happening with Intel, now you are prepared. So you know that these troubles were purely a company production thingy. So now we're coming back to, let's say, trading, technical trading, and therefore we go for bigger scale, for half-year scale, the same chart. So now we see that we are now in uptrend. And being in uptrend means that if you would look this recovery level, it's very clear that we are actually recovering well. There is this line that we touched also today, R1. It's not that it's ceiling, it's still just an upwards trend, but it looks like that overall we are trading and trying to reach it from the top and a little bit rebouncing downward. So also remembering from the previous chart, this line that was in the vicinity of 60 and another one of the vicinity of 61. So let's draw those. We know that that will define our trade and first entries. So with this being said, it's advised to do a first entry because it's expected to have some volatility here, especially given that tomorrow is Friday, so end of the trading session for this week. And also we have here reasonably big upward shadow, so the price could volatile still. The first technically based entry would be advised in the vicinity of S1 and then towards S2 channel. Then it might make another like U-shape behavior, so do another U-shape and go high towards R1. Then would be nice profit making opportunity here. Should we then decline, and this is also possible because, as I said, a lot of volumes were traded, still technicality is still there. Then we can actually go a little bit lower, need to be prepared for lower average down opportunities and strategies. So with this being said, we can just take really next levels, and if you again we have to come back to a bigger scale to understand where are the next levels here positioned. So if you look, you can clearly see one line historically formed actually at about 55, and then lower one, a weaker one historically for just below 54. So if we would draw it back to our bigger scale analysis chart, let's say 55, and so actually a little bit higher I think than 55, so this one, and then the one at the 54, you can see one of the support indicators here also seen here. So this would define our next let's say entry and average down strategy should the price really decline, because we could still see those volatility waves, and then it would be S3, S4 entry opportunity for this stock. And of course, if we go lower, which is not expected here, but still could be, because we know there are still some news, maybe some reconfirmation or reanalysis will come for the news, and therefore we need to be prepared further, of course. Then we can see that the next level we need to take a little bit lower. So this could be this volatility level, not really support one, V1. And then another support line we can take as for the final average down. This would be this line, quite strong support level. This would be S5. So with this, it would be another average down, the last average down opportunity here. Also, speaking of moving averages, of course, you can see they are very bullish, very accelerative, especially moving average 20, this green line, and 50, the blue line, going upwards with a strong acceleration. But also do not need to forget that this last accelerative tip is also formed by volume rather than by the price. And here you need to be careful, because this could be not that bullish as it seems, although it is in general bullish for the stock. And the real price action definition will come once moving average 20 will reach to the price itself. So once, if you imagine continue it, maybe we'll go with some bending here. The price come to it, and that's why we expect also S3, S4 level, maybe it will be in the vicinity of it. Then the price will define either it will bounce back or a little bit go further for reconfirmations. Therefore, all these let's say support levels are discussed here, and then we will see either will return back and go with waving another wave, or a little bit go down and then deeper reconfirmation and again up. But midterm, longer term, of course, it's very positive in that sense stock, so and the company, of course. So it's very interesting chart, very interesting play here. Also, if you speak briefly of other support resist lines, you can clearly see another trend here, although it was broken, but it was just there. So it also forms, although not really strong one, but more like psychological support line for S1, S2, because it was broken mid of October, but still we can also draw it here, meaning that this is really a point which was expected, this price point, and discussed even before. So the area S1, S4 is a very strong one. Some strong actions will take place there for Intel. So with this being said, very nice stock to trade. Good luck with it. This video is a little bit longer than usual, but yeah, Intel also is a very important company, and it has very interesting combination of actions for the last year, for 2020. It was actually everything together mixed. It was COVID, it was news, some errors maybe in planning and assessing the productional capabilities of the company, but then solving those or working around and having good road plan. So now it's improving. Good luck with it. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're first time watching these videos. You can also check other videos similar to this one. We place many stocks daily, many videos. Also, you can watch older videos, because you see we here discuss some average down opportunities, meaning that this could come even later, up to 2, 3, 4, even 5 weeks, meaning that older videos placed even up to 5 weeks ago could be still fresh, and the situation discussed there could be just about happening. So you can be right in time to make your profit and enjoy it. And speaking of exit opportunities, we always advise at our channel making 10, maybe a bit plus % profit. Don't be too greedy. Do consistently trade with the profit. That's the strategy. Don't try to become rich from one trade. This is not possible. It's kind of casino style. You might do it 1, 2 times, but on the longer term, it's usually the lose strategy. And that's one of the reasons why up to 95% traders fail or have bad experience in the first trading year. And yeah, so then they learn with money, so-called paid experience, but it's better that others pay for your experience rather than yourself. So take this advice if you like, and good luck with Intel. See you at another episode of Stocks Advisor channel.